Folks, we need to talk about your hamstrings. A lot of you that have flexion intolerant disc-related back pain have been laboring for too long under the assumption that tightness in your hamstring may have caused your back pain, and that possibly lengthening your hamstrings with repeated stretching is going to make your back pain better. The research really doesn't support that. Moreover, here's what I oftentimes see in the clinic with people that have this kind of back pain. As they bend forward repeatedly trying to stretch their hamstrings, they're oftentimes rounding their lumbar spine. Remember, we talked about the need for maintaining the curve in the low back to protect those discs in your back. And if you're repeatedly rounding your spine to stretch your hamstrings, that's not going to be a good thing for you. It might feel kind of good for a short period of time while you loosen and lengthen some of the muscles back here, but that is not the cause of your back pain. So there's another video that you might see linked on here on disc-related back pain that will give you a better idea about some of the mechanics that are involved there. But let me just say this, what you feel as a hamstring tightness in this part of the back of your leg is probably not truly the hamstrings. It probably is the sciatic nerve, which is made up of the nerve roots that come off of the lumbar spine. And if those nerve roots are irritated because of a disc bulging on them, then the sciatic nerve will be irritated down the course of the leg. And when that nerve is irritated and you stretch it, it doesn't like it. So your body tries to rein that in a bit by tightening the hamstrings a bit. And as you continue to stretch against it, you feel kind of good to stretch the muscles, but then later the hamstrings get worse. As a matter of fact, I cannot tell you how many times in the clinic I have seen patients that come in and they say, I don't know what happened, doc. I can't touch my toes anymore. And I'll have them to try to bend down to touch their toes, and they're this far off of the floor. And I say, well, have you ever been able to touch your hamstrings before? Yeah, when I was younger. Yeah, well, when did your back pain start? And usually it's about a year before they had their first really bad episode of back pain that their hamstrings seemingly started to shrink. And then as they stretched more and more into it, they actually wound up with more and more tightness in their hamstrings over a period of time. So give up on the hamstrings, at least for right now. Maybe down the road you can try to stretch them. And down the road, not right now if your back is active, but down the road, and by that I'm talking about maybe a year down the road after you've been asymptomatic, then we can look at maybe starting to go out and trying to stretch the hamstrings. And what I'm going to encourage you to do is to keep this curve protected as you do. Now, if I round my spine, I'm relatively flexible. I can put my hands almost flat on the ground. But right here, this amount of stretch with my spine protected, I'm getting a really good hamstring stretch. I'll re-emphasize it. If your back pain is relatively fresh or you've had a recent episode, even that might not be a good idea for you right now. So give your body a chance to rest and repair. Give it a chance for the discs to repair. Give it a chance for the sciatic nerve to calm down and be less irritated before you start trying to attack some of these mobility issues in the hamstring.